It will cover me from now. It will cover me from now until the day. Lift your hands, lift your voice, and shout favor. It will cover me from now until the day. Favor. One more time. To cover me from now until the day. Glory to Jesus. This is our experience in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Go ahead and sit there. Favor is so. It will cover me from now until the day I see my King. Favor.
Good evening, everyone.
Favor.
I'll begin in less than a minute.
It will cover me from now. It will cover me from now until the day. Lift your hands, lift your voice, and shout favor.
Is it alright now? According to my phone, what's the audio quality low? I'm saying anything at all. Are you getting it? All right. Good stuff. Good evening, everyone. Good evening from everywhere you can hear me. I'm happy to be here again this evening. Very happy. And as it is, we are scheduled for a wonderful evening. Yes, we are. We are scheduled for a wonderful evening. Let's say a word of prayer as we begin. Father, I ask that as we teach this night, you will give us light and you will give us understanding. You will give us light and we will receive understanding. And seeing that we will be talking a lot about our financial life for the year that is ahead, you will give us wisdom. And even as we share the word and as we listen, you will cause our heart to begin to perceive divine ideas. And for the ideas, you will begin to give us ways of execution. You will begin to give us ways to execute them. By your spirit, you will cause us to see the things that eyes have not seen, that ears have not heard, and have never come into the consciousness of any man. You have made this promise unto us, and we are asking that you deliver it to us tonight in the name of Jesus. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen. Good evening once again, everyone. Bidemil is happy to be your host. As the Lord would have it, we had a wonderful class yesterday, and for those who could not partake for one reason or the other, be sure to get it. Now, I asked the question on our mentorship platform some few days back, and the crux of the question was asking everyone on board if they had a financial plan for the year ahead, whether as a student, as an entrepreneur, or as a working class person. And I received a not so good news because I would say, for reasons best known to God, everyone said no. Yeah, everyone said no. And said, I still did, and included in, thank you, Father, included in the many wonderful things we will be doing on the mentorship platform is the fact that we will be working a lot on our financial life as well. So the crux of the mentorship platform is on leadership, the spiritual life, business, art and craft, and personal development. So it is not just a spiritual development platform only. And I would like to clearly state registration would close by 31st of December 2024. Yes. So if there's someone you think should be here, if there's a benefit you're gaining and you feel like someone needs to gain the same, the best time to invite the person may just be now as we begin our work for tonight. I will title this 2025 Financial Starter Pack, and it is being recorded for those who need to listen to it again. Now, the first and the most important thing in yourself and myself is that we are primarily Christians. Now, that is the amazing part. We are primarily Christians. Hence, the knowledge of the fact that we are Christians is supposed to power all areas of our lives, all excluding none. Every single area of our life is expected to be powered by that reality. So, the first push I'll be making in the 2025 Financial Starter Pack is faithfulness towards God. Now, if you check the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 21, it captures the reality of the heart, and it simply summarizes saying, wherever your treasures are, that is where your heart. That was a principle in the very discussion that Jesus was having in that context. And in Colossians chapter 3, verse 1 and verse 2, will tell you to focus on the things that are above and not the things that are on earth. Now, it looks like a contradiction because the finances we are talking about pertains to things that are on earth, but it is not a contradiction. There's a thin line between spiritual obsession and earthly irrelevance. Very thin line. However, Jesus did not come to market a spiritual obsession. Not at all. That was not his plan. That has never been his plan. Unfortunately for yourself and myself, that will never be his plan. What he came to market was a kingdom. A kingdom. So Hebrews 12:28 would say, seeing that we have received a kingdom. that cannot be moved. The message we have is the message of the kingdom, not the message of spiritual obsession, not the message of earthly relevance only, but a balance on all sides. Now, if you consider the subject of a kingdom, if you're a person who was given to history or kingdom or ancient empires, you will realize the military is existing on its own, the financial world is there. Now, the different ministries under the king and the emperor will be functioning, but everything will be subject to the will of the emperor. Such that no matter how much a soldier likes to stay at the war front, he is expected to still come home and spend time with his family. In fact, if he begins to amass too much of military power, the king will feel threatened by him. So when we begin to cultivate excesses in anything that we do, I assure you, it means we are stepping out of God's plan and purpose gently. The plan is not obsession, not at all. The plan is a balanced life like the citizen of a kingdom. The citizen of a kingdom. Hence, our financial laws and our financial rules as Christians will be centered on, powered by the reality of the kingdom that we are subscribed to. We have received a kingdom, and the kingdom cannot be moved. God cannot be subdued. The kingdom cannot be moved. We will live according to the dictates of the kingdom. Now, there's only a subtle difference, very subtle, between the financial rules of the kingdom and the financial rules of this world. It is that the financial rules of the kingdom is Christ-centered, and the financial rule of this world is self-centered. One of these days, we'll be able to talk about what the kingdom really feels like. Many a times, we'll feel like as Christians, the weak side, we are on the gentle side, unknown to us that we are actually on the strongest side and on the more advanced side. You are with me on the royals, yeah? One thing is sure, your mind will be recalibrated, because saying that we have received this kingdom that cannot be shaken, we are also expected to advance it. And nobody advances a kingdom by gentle talk. We advance things by warfare and by breaking of boundaries. It means we are expected to level up certain boundaries and take up certain spheres of influence and have certain strong ground as Christians. Being a minister is not all that there is to having a genuine Christian walk with God. No. We are supposed to raise you as a Christian who is a business chairman, who is a CEO. We are supposed to raise you as a Christian who is a serial investor. You're supposed who is a serial producer and a manufacturer of many things. But the foundation is that you are a Christian. So let's settle it now from the very beginning. The foundational reality is that you are a Christian. Every other thing you will become stems out of that reality. I have an uncle who is a medical doctor, and one of these days he was doing a surgery, and he said while in the surgery room, he saw a demon come into the OR operating room, and he was praying and casting out the demon while operating with his hands. He is a soldier. As a medical doctor, he is a Christian. In your business sphere, you are a Christian operating in the business world. As a pharmacist, you are a Christian operating in the drug and poison world. As a researcher, you are a Christian operating in the lab. This is the mindset of the kingdom. Wherever you are sent to, okay, excuse me, wherever you are sent to, you are expected to become a force that can never be pushed aside, because the governing principle behind your existence is actually so big that the world cannot comprehend it. One of the characteristics of the Holy Spirit is that the world does not know him. Hence, you are supposed to walk with a principle and by a life that this world cannot understand. So you cannot afford to be small. I once had an encounter. I think this is the best time to share it. And I appeared in a court in heaven. When I mean court, I mean a king's palace where he attends to affairs. And the Holy Spirit held me by hand and he was walking me down a lane. And he took a sharp turning by his left. And we entered into another court. And inside this court, what stood out for me was that they were Christian billionaires who are now with the Lord. And one of them came to hug me and receive me, and he said, "We have been waiting for you." He offered me a seat in their council, and I realized that God actually has a place for his people to be very wealthy. I mean, terrifically wealthy. I don't know how else to put it. I saw them. I know that court. I know that place. I know it. By God's grace, I have visited a few courts in heavenly places. And this one was full of Christians who are now with the Lord, who were billionaires on it. You won't be the first Christian billionaire or Christian millionaire. Trust me, you won't be the first. You will not. But there's a space for you in that world. I have seen them. I know they exist. Somebody will be asking, how can I see those kind of people? It's a seeing that we are being surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses. The cloud of witnesses there responds to the identity of the spirit of just men made perfect. Those who were with us once on earth are now with God in heaven, and they are watching us continue this journey on earth. We're expected to rule on all sides. We're expected to dominate on all sides. The dominion mandate captures the fact that rulership is in our hands. Because as our king is world, yes, as our king is, so are we in this world. Jesus was praying and he said, "Thy kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Silver and gold are mine, says the Lord." It means the control of finances, the spiritual nature of finances belong to the Lord. And who is supposed to wield that on earth? Fortunately for you, it is supposed to be you and I. All right? You and I. So prepare your mind for so great a financial blessing. Hmm. Prepare your mind for a great financial blessing. The best you have seen now is the least you can ever see. And you will ask yourself, how shall these things be? Just like Gabriel answered Mary, the Holy Ghost will come upon you and you will become a changed person. Hence, the reason why this teaching is Christ centered. All right? It has to be Christ centered. I can't take the risk of operating by another principle. So follow me gently. We are building the idea of a kingdom, not a spiritual obsession, a kingdom. We will be balanced on all sides. All sides. I mean, all sides. See, I can mention names and I can give examples. At a point in time, I was reading about the man Kenneth Copeland, and I realized he had given out, according to the report I read, he had given out 27 private jets. This is not the this is the issue. He didn't say he has owned 27. The report said he has given out 27. I don't seem to understand. Somebody has given out 27 aircrafts given out. Recently, we also discovered he was one of the biggest partners for Evangelist Riyad Bonke and his missions in Africa. He's just a man like yourself and myself. All right? The only difference is that he follows the Lord. If you will follow the same Lord, you can attain to the same height. The Lord is not a respecter of persons. If you are committed to him, he will be committed to you. Let's begin the work. I have just given you a spiritual charge. If you are committed to Him, He will be committed to you. We need to do a long work on this thing. All right. So, talking about 2025 Financial Starter Pack, one of the first requirements you need to have is that you need a matured heart. Yes, maturity comes in varying levels according to your exposure to knowledge and the resolution to take decisions per time. The more you know, actually, the more you can do, and by that, the more you become. All right. So, the first thing you need is a matured heart because in this world and in the financial systems, if you want to grow financially, everybody has an opinion about what you want to do and how you should do it. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody thinks it should be done in a certain way. Everybody has something to say about what you want to do and about what you have to do. But guess what? Many of them have rubbish to say. And if you are not matured enough to discern between what is good and what is not necessary, you will be swayed easily by the opinion of many, not knowing that many of them are glib talkers and people who will never take the decision they're just about to take. All they will fantasize about it and they will end up not taking a decision. Now, because you do not have a matured heart, you have listened to them and their fantasy, and you are now crippled and unable to take a decision. So, one of the first things you need in this year ahead is a matured mind, a matured heart. And unfortunately for us, we're in this part of the world where we are. Some people just want you to be average. Just do the little you can do and get out. Why do you have to do the extra? Why do you have to think so big? Why do you have to think in the multimillionaire world? Why do you have to think in the billionaire world? It's not necessary. Come to this life, live a peaceful life, and die. Yes, we have many like that. If you don't have a genuine reason for doing what you intend to do, I assure you, the opinion of people will sway you. And one thing about people is that the things they told you just now, they have forgotten, but you will remember. The things they just told you now that has crippled you from taking the right decision, they have forgotten. But guess who remembers? You remember. So you may see them in 3 years' time doing exactly the same thing they talked you out of doing. They will be doing exactly the same thing and they will come to you for advice, telling you you wanted to do it sometimes, but tell give me the advice on why you did not do it. Not known to you that the reason you didn't do it was because you listened to them. 3 years later, they have become matured, they want to take a similar decision. So, in all that you will be doing in the year ahead financially, please settle this. You need a stable mind. I want you to believe that you are not mad, and whatever decision you are taking is good enough. At best, you need to work on it to make it better before you execute it. Let me say it again. You are not mad. Whatever decision it is you are about to take is good enough. And I'm using these words carefully. It is just that if you take them in the raw form, you may be making a mistake. So the idea needs to be worked upon. And that is the place where you need a mentor. Thank God you are here. Thank God you are here. That's why you need a mentor. Someone from the mentorship platform called me. Let me not mention his name. He mentioned the business idea he wanted to do. He mentioned two actually. And after we talked about it and I critically helped him analyze it, he left singing appreciations because if he had started the way he wanted to start, he would have made a mistake that would have cost him huge financial strength, he would have lost a lot of money. But guess what? Because he could relate it with someone better than him, someone more and definitely more knowledgeable. So that is one of the criteria for choosing a mentor, please. If at any point in time you feel like you know more than myself, you're free to leave. Yeah. Having helped him analyze his business idea, and the first thing I told him was that his business idea is actually good enough. Yes, it is good enough. It is just that if he executed it in the way he wanted to, he would have failed. The second one he brought was even an investment plan. It sounded nice to everyone this hearing. Oh, if you listen to the investment idea, even you would give him money. When I asked him a simple question, this person you are investing the money in, what is this person's escape strategy? And there was none. I asked for escape strategy because although you expect your business to succeed, there is 50% chance for it to fail on first trial. And when it fails, it just doesn't cause you emotional pain, it also causes you financial pain. It means you will take a financial loss if it doesn't work well on the first trial. So, having poured money into this business and into the person's hand, what is the person's escape strategy? How do they intend to refund you, seeing that you are offering an informal package? And he told me the person said the business can never fail. I said there's no business like that. Even if you are selling water and you are selling, forgive me, even if you are selling water and all you have to do is go to a tap, take a cup of water and come and sell it to somebody else, he still has the chance to fail. What if while walking you fall down and your cup breaks? Now you have to buy another cup. What if you fall down and get injured? Now you have to treat yourself. The cost of treating yourself has to come from the business. Any business can fail. So when he discussed that with me, we realized his idea was good enough, his investment plan was good enough, but the execution could have cost him trouble. The execution could have cost him trouble. So I sent him on an assignment to go and study hard. Then he will come back, we'll discuss it again, and this time around he will take actions. It's simple. Have a stable mind. Your ideas are good enough. It may just be that the means of execution may be troublesome. Have a stable mind. Do not be swayed easily by people's opinion. Please bury that thing now. Have a stable mind. You need a stable mind. People's opinion are a reflection of their inner man. I think I just made a statement I have to explain. People's opinion are a reflection of their inner self. It is the limitation of what they know and what they have experienced that they will project to you. If you don't know enough and if you don't have somebody who can guide you, the person of a mentor, you will be making many mistakes by listening to too many people. Eventually, listening to too many people ends up crippling you because some will tell you to take two steps, another will tell you to sit down. By the end of it, all you realize you are not making any reasonable decision because you are exposed to too many people at the same time. Have a stable mind. In this financial journey for the year ahead, you need it. The ideas you get are reasonable, and the divine inspiration you get are wonderful. It may just be that you need a guidance on how to execute it part time. Develop a stable mind. Let's continue gently. Now, you will always be faced with a dilemma, and the dilemma would be such that you will ask yourself, am I doing too much? Or am I focusing too much on finances and letting my spiritual life die as a result of it? Am I gravitating towards mammon? Because, of course, I expect you to be a Christian, and I know you are, at least to a very reasonable extent. Am I not gravitating too much towards mammon? Why is it that I think about money, I think about all of these things, even while still thinking about my spiritual life at the same time? One thing I will say is the future will clear your eye. Honestly, the future will clear your doubt. And I know why I'm saying this and I know why I'm laughing too. The future will clear your doubt. If there's any area in your life which you are not well developed, you will pay a significant price for it. The future will clear your doubt. I know I have seen genuinely anointed men, prayerful men, who have begged though, and they were begging for money, begging for money because they were in lack. Prayerful and gifted men. They developed their spiritual capacity without developing their mind. It is not God's fault, though. It is human interference that led to that. Because I have also seen men who developed their spiritual being, I mean their inner man, and they developed their mind alongside in their finances, and they don't beg for anything. They grow at their level and they increase steadily. If you ever listen to the man in Nigeria, Bishop David Oyedepo, you hear him say things like, I have never begged. It is because he developed himself. I have seen people, very gifted and spiritual people, who have begged for money. And I've also seen spiritual people, very gifted, who have never begged for finances. The two are a possibility. The choice is yours. But one thing is sure, the future will clear your doubt. I, for a person, I've seen some of my colleagues and friends who are doing excellently well financially because they have a job. And I've seen some who have abandoned their spiritual life because now they realize they need to make money, else their family will die of hunger. One does not have to suffer for the other to grow. The two can develop at the same time. If I find someone who has listened to me for a while, one of the first things I tell them is crash your whole life into one. Don't separate it into spiritual life, financial life, academic life, marital life. Crash everything into one. Your life. And subject it to the laws and the principles of the person of the Holy Spirit because you are a Christian. If you are not a Christian, I don't have many things to tell you. I really don't have so much. I have some things to tell you, but not here. Primarily, I speak to Christians. Yeah, primarily, and this is the gist. The future will clear your doubt. I promise you that the future will clear your doubt. The future will clear your eye. Develop yourself in all areas at the same time. Just as you are focusing on your personal development and career, you're focusing on your spiritual life. You should also have an eye on your finances. I saw a video of a lady today who was 19 and getting married. No, she was not getting married. She was married at 19. And I was thinking about my life because here I am. Age, I'm still not married. Wonderful stuff. Think about it. I'm an amazing creator. She's 19. Wait, oh, okay. Here's the thing. You're not too young to be developed on all sides. You are not too young. Unfortunately for you, if you are old, like I'm not old, please. Oh, if you don't consider yourself to be young, probably you are in your early 20s, you are in your mid 20s, you are in your early 30s, it is not too late to get everything right too. Whenever you start is when you start. You will always enjoy the benefits when you start. You start when you start, you enjoy the benefit when you start. Oh yeah? But please, if you have the advantage of starting early, do not let anything stop you. Please do not. Do not for any reason. The future will clear your doubt. Ah, I'll start at that. See, I have mentioned this earlier, but I'll mention it again. Your ideas are good, and executing them is good, but please execute them the right way. I will always advise you to go and speak with someone who knows more than you in any area. For example, I may not be, no, let me put it in a much better way. My academic mentor is not my spiritual father. My academic mentor is not my spiritual father. By the grace of God, I'm deep into research, and he is neck deep into research. In 1 year, he can have as much as 20 to 30 international research publications by himself alone. If I intend to get to that level of efficiency, I need to learn from him. And having been learning from him, he is now telling people about me, because he feels impressed by the kind of result I am producing as a person under him. He is very happy to publish my results and to tell people about me because I learn from him and I'm diligent at what I learn from him. He is my academic mentor. Now, for business, he is into business. I learn business from him as well, but he's not my main business teacher. And when I have angelic encounters, I have scriptures, I have things that I don't understand, I go to my spiritual father. For a few people, I am their spiritual father. For a few people, because of the way I have developed myself, I handle their business, I handle their maritals, but I don't handle their academics or their career because I'm not in their career path. If you find someone who can handle a part of your life better, please listen to them on it. All right? Listen to them on it. I am someone who has made a few mistakes in marital relationships. Yeah, I have made a few mistakes there. Now, when I see people gravitating towards those mistakes, I can easily get them out of it because they will be learning from my experience. Yeah, I can easily save them from making mistakes. So, for a few people, I can handle their relationships, but always go to meet the people who are more knowledgeable about a certain matter and discuss things with them. I cannot mentor you in forex because the very few times I tried forex, the way I failed was not nice. Yeah, I wasted a few dollars on forex. If I need to learn forex, I have someone to go to. Always be happy to discuss with someone who knows better than you. Emphasis on better than you. Your contemporaries may just be good encouragement, and some of them may not be good encouragement. Yeah, but always try to exist in an ecosystem of people that are bigger than you. This is what I mean. Whatever level you are, the set of people you should be relating with primarily are the people ahead of you. Secondarily, are the people that are on the same level with you. Primarily, relate with people that are ahead of you. Now, I have finished my PhD, so I am currently being addressed as Dr. Bidemi Emmanuel. Majority of the people I relate with in the academic world are professors. My academic mentor is a professor. His friends are the people I listen to as well. In fact, I visit his office quite a lot. Why? I want to exist in the ecosystem of the people who are ahead of me because they stretch my desire for growth. Yeah, they stretch my desire for growth and they stretch my knowledge of execution. They stretch my desire for growth and they stretch my knowledge of execution. Now, my academic mentor will easily give me his PhD students to help him supervise, and his master students to help me supervise, to help him supervise because he has trained me. All right. And he believes that I now know something. Now, for my financial teacher, I am also experimenting the things he has taught me and the things I am learning from him. And I'm diligent at it. And I'm going to be more productive than I currently am. Hence, I can show you the path. Oh, yeah? I can show you the path. I can show you what not to do, and I can show you what to do. And when the push comes to shove, I can take you to the people who know better than myself so that you learn too. Prioritize knowledge. Prioritize knowledge. Do not be like the people who wish for good things but are not willing to take the sacrifice to know the good things. At the point in time, the scripture said, buy knowledge, sell it not. I know the mentorship platform I created is free, and it is because God has designed for it to be so. God has designed for the Royals mentorship platform to be free and accessible to everybody who can register. But I have classes for people that will not be free. They will pay for it so that they can get full value from it. The mentorship platform of the Royals will also offer free value because God pays the bills. Yeah, God pays the bills. Buy knowledge. If you have to give your mentor gift so that you can attend the same event he attends, it's fine. If you have to sacrifice some of your personal pleasure to be able to exist in his ecosystem, please do. There are times I leave the comfort of my hostel, run to my mentor's office, sit down with him, and begin to discuss. And when we begin to talk, my mind begins to expand. My mind expands to such a time, to such a point that I feel like, oh, more, this is getting too big. Then when I get back home, I take decisions that correspond to the things I have learned. It is one of the reasons he is proud of me as a person. Oh, everybody I am ever submitted to, whether my spiritual father or my mentors, they are proud of me because I give my best. I give my best. The reason I give my best is because I do not want to be mediocre. I hate mediocrity. I will not lie to you. I wish I could lie to you. I don't want to be amongst the general population. As much as the general population is concerned, I want to be the cream on the crop. In fact, if there are best three people, I want to be among the top three, but I don't want to be the second or the third. I want to be among the top three at all times, but I don't want to be the third. Neither do I want to be the second. Whatever I can give to become the best, I am willing to give it. The same thing, whatever you are willing to give to have a very stable financial life, please give it. The reward is much more than the pain of give whatever you are going to lay down. I often learn to teach this thing in a very comical way to make people laugh. I say, you don't sleep like you are competing with the dead. It doesn't work that way. There are times at night when you just have to wake up and you use the silence of the night to think, to meditate, and you will find business ideas that are uncommon, and you would be wondering, where have these ideas been all this while? Why is it that I am just getting to know about it now? It is because you have just thought about it, and you have just created the atmosphere that can allow you to think about it. Whatever you have to give to become better at your finances, feel free to give it. Feel free to give it. If you have to be more studious, give it your shot. If you have to be more diligent, please be more diligent. You can't afford to aspire for great things and be lazy about it. It's an abomination. It will not fall to your legs and you just pick it up. No, you have to work for it and aim for the best. All right. I will not let you pass by me and you will still think, I'll just go for the barest minimum. God forbid. You will always be desirous of the best at all times. I have a principle about money, and I would just like to share it with you as I continue. Money must be spent. Currently in Nigeria, we may be facing a economic crisis, and I honestly don't care about it because whatever I need to do, as long as I need to spend money, I will spend it to get it done. Yeah, money must be spent. And having spent it, if it works out well, beautiful. If it doesn't, no problem. Money was created to be spent. This will lead me to the final point on this outline. No pressure. See, say to yourself, say no pressure. Yeah, no pressure. Do not be tempted to feel you are under pressure. Nah, no pressure. Although you are aiming for the best, although you want the very best, I will advocate for no pressure. No pressure. No pressure. You may not make 10 million in a year. You may just start with a profit. At the end of the year, you may realize you have a profit of 500,000 in your account, which is half a million. Celebrate it. Next year, aim for 10 times. No pressure. If at the end of the year, all that is that you are not in debt and you are in very little profit, no pressure. No pressure. All right. Have that at the back of your mind as we begin and go deeper. I intend to go long tonight anyway. I don't intend to go short. No pressure. I, as a person, do not really believe in 30 minutes, 40 minutes teaching. I'm sorry, but I don't. I don't. If we intend to do a deep work, we need to go deep and deep. I would like to say sometimes I believe in 3 hours of teaching, 4 hours of teaching, but we won't do 4 hours tonight. Let's continue gently. Now, for some of you who have business ideas that you are thinking about executing in the year ahead, I want to encourage you and congratulate you. Your business idea is good. Yes, it is good. It is just that it is in its raw form. It is good, but it is in its raw form. Now, many of you love gold because you know the price of gold in the market. And you know if you have 100 gram of gold, you should not be called a poor man. Yes. But if you ever see gold in its pure form, in its extracted form, you won't like it because it looks like a stone with rough edges. But by the time it is processed and turned into bar, you will love it. But if you don't know the value of it, you may pick it as a yellow stone beside the river and stone your friend with it, not knowing you are just throwing around thousands of dollars, yeah? Not knowing. So your idea is good, it may just be in its raw form. So what do you do to the idea that is in its raw form? You meditate on it. When I mean meditate, I mean you think on it. This is the thing. You will think about this thing until it almost becomes an obsession. You are not permitted to excel at a thing until you are close to being obsessed with it. I'll say it again. You are not permitted to excel at a thing until you are close to being obsessed with it. Let me give you an example. If you are in medical school and you are not a studious person, you will have crisis. Now, basic clinical and science world, and you are not enthusiastic about what you do, you are not going to succeed. And if it's a school, you definitely are not going to pass because it will stress your life. The reason it is stressful to you is because it has not captured your heart. That is the issue. The reason it is stressful and you consider it to be full load of stress It's because you are not yet obsessed with it. You want to do it and pass. Nah, you must love it until it fills your mind. After it fills your mind, you will do it easily. I've tested this theory and I've even marketed it to a few people, especially some of those who are submitted under me. Whatever it is you want to do, right? Love it. When you love it, you can do it better. If you don't love it, you will struggle with it. That is exactly how it works. When you love it, you will do it better. If you don't love it, you will struggle with it. That's the rule of success. If you are not obsessed with that idea you are finding in your heart, you won't grow at it. Nah, just forget about success. So for that idea that is in your mind, think on it. You are a Christian, pray on it. Now, as a person, I have found a balance between prayer and meditation, such that I call it meditative prayers. And I've taught on it on the mentorship platform. I also have it in my book. You you will pray on it, you will think about it. See, now, at the stage in which I am with one of the businesses I do, I have a website that I have designed, and all I am waiting for is to push it online and get a factory that can produce what I need. I have thought about it so much that I have designed the website and the inputs that will be on the website. 2025 January, one of the parts of the website will be launched. At least one, if not all. And the issue is the more you think about it, the clearer it becomes. The more you think about the idea, the clearer it becomes. The clearer it becomes, the more you enjoy it and the more you see the pleasure to run with it. Your resolve will be tested. Life will test you. The business world will test you. Finances will test you. It is your resolve that will push you through. If you don't believe in what you are carrying, if you don't believe in that idea, you will drop it along the way because you will feel like what you are facing is too much for you to bear. But if you believe in it, having meditated on it and thought about it for long enough, you will be willing to push through and offer everything as a sacrifice. Yes, you will be willing to do that. So your idea is good. The first thing to do is to think about it. Think. The more you think, the clearer it becomes. Now, the issue, another wonderful thing to point out is that your first execution may not be perfect. Your first execution may not be perfect, and it is all right. Nobody is asking you to be perfect from the very beginning. No, I am not. I'm not an advocate for perfection. I'm an advocate for development and progress. Development, progress, and movement, not perfection. If you ask me, do I want you to be perfect? I would not say yes, neither would I say no. I would rather say I want you to grow and keep growing until there's no end to your growth. Because if at any point in time there's an end to your growth, that is the beginning of your death. I won't say that again. Your first execution may not be good enough. It's fine. Rebrand or repackage, do it again. Many churches change names as they grow. Many businesses change name as they grow. So whatever name you are starting with is also fine. Like I said, I don't want you to be perfect. I want you to grow and keep growing until there's no end to your growth. The scriptures say a righteous man leaves inheritance for his children's children. It means he has grown so much that if his own child decides to live on what he has built, there will be enough for him and his own grandchild. Yet his son is still expected to develop as well. Choose growth. All right? Choose growth. Choose growth at all times. Your first execution may not be perfect. It's perfectly fine. It's just that growth is a necessity. Now, the final thing I will mention in the fact that your idea is good enough is that changes happen. And some of these changes are not things that you can control. Now, there was a different world of Miss Dance before COVID happened. COVID happened in 2021. No, 2020. 2020 and 2021. The world before 2020 and the world after 2021, they are different. Many things have changed. Too many things have changed. The business rules and world before 2020 and now, too many things have changed. See, by the time we get to 2027, many more things will change because by then the idea of artificial intelligence and automation would have multiplied by not less than 15 times. In one of my encounters with the Lord, I have been privileged to see the future of books. And the future of books is digital. The future of books is not print, it is digital. I have seen a computer system in my visions and in my encounters with the Lord that is not yet on earth. And just in case you are asking, why would the Lord show me about something like that? This is not something eternal. Forgive me. It is something relevant because we are beings and creatures of earth. If you have been following my teaching, you would have realized what I just said. That although it's a one line, it's a deep line. Changes happen. And some of the changes are not going to be within your control. So, in response to those changes, you will also make changes. So, this is what I'm trying to drive at. You can change your methods, but the vision must be the same. Did you get it now? You can change your methods, but the vision and the end goal must still remain the same. The end goal is that this idea must be executed. And when you tried it, you tried to land it physically, but you met resistance, and probably because of where you stay, a regulation fights against it. It's simple. You change from having it as a physical operation to an online operation. The method can change, the method is allowed to change, but the goal must not change. Now, for example, some of you are listening to me on YouTube, some of you on Instagram, and the others on Telegram. But in the conventional world, I should have been waiting for all of you to gather in the same physical space. That will not happen. And if it happens, it might just be far lesser number than now. But the amazing thing now is, what I want to do is to impact you with knowledge and to help you take these decisions as you progress. I can give you the same knowledge via these channels, and you will still take the right decisions after this. Now, the amazing thing is, if I taught this thing only through a physical gathering, there may not be a recording. Hence, you are only left with the things you have jotted. And if anything happens to that jotter, you are only left with the things that you can remember. Now, with the channels and the mediums we are using, you can go back to YouTube and you will find it there. You can go to the Telegram library that we have created for the King's Court and you will find it there. Over time, I can also upload it to my Google Drive and send you the link and you would find it there. So you can listen to this over and over, get these ideas checked and rechecked, and even help you make a better decision by it instead of waiting for all of you to gather in the same physical space. Do you get it? The vision is the same to impart knowledge, but the method is not the same. So feel free in your thank you, Father. In your business work, in your business ideas, in every idea you have towards finances and personal growth, the methods can change. Feel free to adapt to changes in method, but the vision must remain the same. I, for a person, I'm still growing, because I wanted to say when I was still growing, but I am still growing. In the earlier phases of my growth, I preferred to listen to audio teachings. Over time, I lost interest. I now prioritize video teachings. Over time, I decided to add to video teachings books and not just videos and audios anymore. Methods have changed, but the end goal is that I want to develop myself. I want to gain knowledge. So, in your businesses as well, in the ideas you have, the methods of execution may change due to regulations that are beyond your control. But feel free to acknowledge that the vision must remain the same and change the vision and change the methods. Yeah, change the methods. Change the methods drastically if you have to. Change the methods. Hmm? When things happen that are beyond your control and you need to execute certain changes, you have my blessings. Feel free. It is just that you should never give up on the end goal. All right? Let's progress gently. Now, the next I want to bring your way is what I call basic instructions for financial management. Now, the first thing I talked about was the requirement for, the faithfulness towards God, because you are Christians. Yeah, very important. The second is the requirement for a matured heart. We did a little work on that, and how you should not be swayed easily by people's decision. You can't afford it; it's too expensive. The next is that I said your idea is good enough. You just have to work on it and keep working on it until it keeps getting better. And there's no end to your growth. No, must you should have a growth mindset and not a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset will tell you this is what I want to do and this is how I want to do it. Nobody can change my mind. But a growth mindset will say this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it now. The difference is a time frame at the end of it. For now, this is how I want to do it. Because in the future, I may change how I want to do it, but I will still achieve my goal. So have a growth mindset. So the next is what I call the basic instruction for financial management. Yes, just basic. Because there are many things you can do to finances. The first is that you can increase its inflow, you can control its outflow, and you can control its availability. That is management. So for its inflow is what we just finished in your ideas and your and your business idea generation and execution. The second is the management of what you have. If you don't control what you have properly, you will suffer wastage, and wastage is not good for business. Neither is it good for your finances. Now, the second thing is the outflow. You can also control the outflow because many of us we spend very carelessly. Now, for those who were available in the class yesterday, I said they should go check their bank statement from January to December. What came in and what left the account. I told them not to check the intricate details, just the summary. For my bank, it will tell me 500,000 came in January and 479,000 went out. I just need that summary. Now, the reason I asked for that summary is for them to see that Yeah, they are not poor. They might just be making errors and simple mistakes in how they spend and how they let their money flow out. Hence, the need for management. Let me share this. Sometimes ago, I was actually complaining that I was becoming broke and I did not like it. Oh, I don't like being broke. Then I just thought to go check my bank app and check the amounts that came in for me into my account that month. And after I saw it, I felt like beating myself. Yes, after I saw it, I felt like beating myself. This was what happened. As at then, over 200,000 Nigerian naira had come into my account. Now, for you to understand the relative value, um, a secondary school principal doesn't earn much higher than that. I mean, too much higher than that as at that time. Over 200,000 Nigerian naira had came into my account. And as at then, I had spent more than 195. So the issue I had was not that money was not coming in. The issue is that money was coming in, but I was not managing it. I was not saving. I was not retaining. I was just spending. So that was why I told those people to check those summary. And if you can minimize the application you are listening to me with, you can quickly go check. Just, excuse me. Just check last month, and if you can check October too, it will be fine. Check how much has come in, and check how much left. Management is a key part of financial growth. So I say yes, sir. Very important part. So basic instructions for financial management. The first thing I wrote here is keep records. I'm giving you an assignment. From January 1, 2025 to December 31, 2025, keep a record of every single penny that comes in for you. Yes, your bank app can help you with that. But you should also strive to do it manually too until it settles in your mind that you have to establish this thing as a practice. Keep a record of every penny that comes into your account. I mean, every single thing that comes in. I know the next thing to do. Watch after 1 month, watch what you have spent on, and then check what is necessary out of the things you have spent money on. You will realize you may be making certain mistakes that you did not know you were making. Let me share the story of a man that I learned from Dr. Sam Adeyemi. This man always bought and drank a can of Maltina. Maltina is a malt drink in Nigeria every day. In fact, he would even have packs of it in his office. He would have packs of it in his office. So when you go to greet him, you automatically know you are getting one to drink. And one single pack, then one single can was 200 naira. Just 200 naira. I mean, 200 naira is so insignificant that you can even give it out to somebody on the street. Just 200 naira. He said one of these days, this man just, it was like he came into a realization that a block for building was also 200 naira. And in one day, depending on how much he wants to drink, he can take 2 to 3 cans of malt. So what he just did was burn 3 blocks. So this man went to check the amount he has spent on buying malt, and he felt like repenting because if he had spent that much on his building, he probably would have done better in his building. But 200 naira feels so small and so irrelevant. But 200 naira accumulated over a period of time is not small and it is not irrelevant. That is the reason why you have to keep records. You should keep records. You have to. Yes, you have to. This is not in any way telling you to not spend. This is not in any way telling you to not in fact, we'll get to that later and I will hammer on it a bit hard. It is telling you to watch and keep records. You have to keep records. It's a necessity. Check what comes in for you. Check how it goes out. And when you see there are certain excesses in what goes out, curb those excesses, tame those excesses, and develop yourself to become a better person. I had a friend, her name is Ayo. We haven't spoken in a while. That was why I used the word had. She loved to drink Five Alive. Five Alive is a drink in Nigeria. As at then, it was relatively cheap. She said, and she said she had become addicted to it, so she was buying it regularly. Oh, hell, Vito, very regular. She said what cured her addiction was when the price of Five Alive went up and went as high as 500. Now it is, I'm sure it is over 1,000 naira. So the addiction is gone. You might just be like Ayo, failing to realize that there's something that seems so irrelevant, but it's taking too much from you. It is taking too much from you. If you ever find that thing, you will only be able to find it by keeping records. When you find it and you tame it, you become a better person. Nothing should be able to have a strong level of control over you. You should be able to rule over your desires. Yeah, that's the basic expectation. You should be able to rule over your desires. When you can do that, you are a better man. So keep records. The second thing is save. Aha. SAVE. You have heard about this too many times, but I'll bring a practical aspect to it. I did a practical earlier this year. I took out a large sum of money from my account. I invested it in I invested it in a business. I watched it grow. And the second thing I did was I used some of these saving platforms and I connected them directly to my bank account. And they were making withdrawals from my bank account every week, every month. I even did it to a point in time that I love football and I support Chelsea. Every time Chelsea scores a goal, one of the saving platforms will remove 1,000 naira from my bank account. Guess what? With all the deductions that they were doing, I was learning to manage what I had left. Come on, these people were deducting money from my account, but they were not spending, they were saving it for me. As much as they were deducting, I was now learning to keep myself within my means. A point in time came when I needed money. I could easily go to where I had saved money and take out from there. The issue is that if I had spent everything at the time I was getting it then, I would have spent it all. And whatever I was falling back to as part of my savings would not be there. So I would have easily spent everything if those applications I had configured and linked to my bank account did not help me save. Save. Save money. There's no amount of money that is definitely going to be enough. Even when it is not enough, you still have to save. The issue is, even when it is small, I understand that it is small, you still have to save. It is what you have saved that will save you. This is the words of one of my financial mentors, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. He said, it is what you have saved that will save you in times of crisis. If you have not saved anything, nothing will save you. Let me share some practical examples because I did a lot of practicals earlier this year till now. In one of the in one of the saving platforms, I allowed them to save my money for a period of 3 months. Then they would release it to me after 3 months. So every time any significant amount of money comes into my account, I divide it into four. Sometimes I don't even bother with the division. I take as much as 20%, if not 40%, and I throw it into those savings that I know I would be able to take back after 3 months. And guess what? I was able to live with the little I had left. And at the end of 3 months, I had something significant coming back into my bank account for which I can use to execute one project or another. If I had left everything in my bank account, by that 3 months, I would have needed more and probably would not have more. That's the gist. It is not too small for you to save out of it. If you're on 100,000 naira monthly, you still have to save. If you're on a 5 million naira monthly allowance, you still have to save. Because what you have saved will save you. For those who are working, there's a financial principle I have borrowed, and I found that it works. You should save at least minimum 6 months of your living expenses. This is what I mean. If every month you spend $4,000 for your living expenses, in your savings in cash, you should have 24,000 kept as a savings that is readily available. Nigerian naira. If you spend 200,000 monthly, in your emergency savings account, you should have 200,000 times 6. That is 1.2 million, if I am correct, available in a savings account that you can easily access. 6 months. Some people would even recommend 8 months. It is wonderful. Minimum is 6 months. The reason is that, let's assume there's an emergency. You can take from that, number one. Number two, you nobody has ever prayed for them to lose their source of income. If you ever get to lose your source of income, you still have enough to live conveniently for 6 months. That is exactly what you have just done. If you lose your job or your business takes a severe hit, you still have enough to live conveniently for 6 whole months. 6 months without before you start feeling the effect. And if you are prepared for 8 months, you will be able to stay for 8 months before you feel the effect. Imagine that kind of thing where you can continue your search for a job, or you can start redeveloping and redesigning your business. And for the next 8 months or 6 months, you feel safe enough to be able to kickstart and bring yourself up again. If you have a stable source of income, please imbibe that culture. 6 months minimum of your living expenses. If, like I said earlier, if you spend $4,000 monthly, you should have 24,000 in cash. That's 6 months of your living expenses. If it is in Nigerian naira and you spend 300,000 monthly, you should have 3 times 6. This is 1.8 million in a savings account that you can easily cash. Minimum of 6 months living expenses saved in cash. So this is the gist. You can't have just one savings platform or one savings account. No, 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 no. I don't recommend that. You should have more than one. And you should have for short-term savings and for long-term savings. Now, there are such savings that you can easily take out from at the end of the month. Beautiful. At the end of 3 months, wonderful. At the end of 6 months, wonderful. At the end of 1 year, perfect. But you should also have a savings that you will not have access to till the end of the year, or till the end of 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years, depending on how far you can go. So this is the encouragement. This is the gist. Have a short-term savings platform. Have a long-term savings platform. All right, say sir earlier, sir, and have more than one savings avenue. And in your savings, have at least 6 months of your monthly expense. See, you can't afford to make this mistake. It will help you live right. A minimum of 6 months of your living expenses. I am hammering this thing. Nobody prepares for evil. When COVID hit in 2020, many families suffered because although they were earning large salaries, they were spending almost everything. And thank God for lockdown. Many people were locked up. I saw families beg during that period. And I don't want anybody here to ever have such record to share in the future. So if you have to cut down your living expenses to be able to save as much as 6 months, it's wise for you to do that. It's wisdom for you to do that. Minimum of 6 months living expenses. Have it saved. You should have short-term savings, have long-term savings as well. The most important thing is it is what you save that will save you. However, what you save is different from what you invest. Let me clarify that now. Savings is not necessarily for profit. No, it is for management and consolidation of your financial status. Savings will not necessarily bring you much profit. The highest profit you can get from savings may be just 10%, 10, 11, 12%. So it means if you save the million naira, you are probably going to get 100,000 naira at the end of 1 year. Not much profit, so it's not really the best for profit. Although it gives a little increase, and it is fine. But have long-term savings options, have short-term savings options, and have more than one. Please, hmm? Have more than one. I'm sure you are learning wisdom. All right. The next thing is not conventional, but it is important. Build genuine interpersonal and godly relationships. Somebody will ask now, how is this a basic instruction for financial management? There are many things you will not need to pay for if you have genuine interpersonal relationship with people. And when I mean genuine, I mean it is sincere. You are not being friends with them for benefit. For the benefit you can gain from them, no. Or for the benefit the relationship will give you, no. Have genuine and sincere interpersonal and godly relationships. There are many things relationships can pay for. Too many things relationship can pay for. And if you have genuine relationship with people, it is also a form of financial management. Let me share you an example. Sometimes in 2022, I applied to do my PhD in the United Kingdom, Scotland to be very precise. But I decided to bench it because I wasn't feeling the idea. I got other better opportunities. But the department I registered for then was the Department of Biochemistry and Computational Biology. Follow me carefully. I registered for the PhD in the Department of Biochemistry and Computational Biology. So I Ahmed Balola University, where I did my master's, gave me a wild card option for my PhD, and I took it. It was a wild card. It was one of the reasons I was able to complete my PhD in less than 3 years. In the two universities I applied to in the UK, one told me I would have to spend 4 years, the other told me I would spend full 3 years. And Ahmed Balola is saying, because I have done my master's with them and I have completed the syllabus for advanced biochemistry, I should come back. And they were offering me an advantage. So it was a no-brainer to take that decision. No-brainer. But the issue is a full departmental work was computational biology. Now, because of the relationship I have with my academic mentor, he has a research center in which they do a lot of computational biology work. Now, because of the relationship we have developed over time, and how well I have served him, he brought me into the research institute for me to come and learn computational biology in exchange for nothing. My school fee in the United Kingdom for computational biology and biochemistry was over £20,000. Guess what I am learning it for now? Nothing. I am not paying a single naira. But every time my mentor has ever needed me and he called upon me, I responded and I delivered quality at all times. Now, because of that genuine relationship that has been built over time, the very thing I could have paid £20,000 to learn, I am learning now in exchange for nothing. I am buying this knowledge without money. I am buying it with my service and my genuine heart and a well developed relationship. So that when I tell you to develop good and godly interpersonal relationship, it is an effective financial strategy. Imagine paying £20,000 to learn a thing and learning the same thing for nothing. Because this is the same quality of productions and research they do over there, that they also do in the research center that I've gotten access to. Interpersonal relationship. Develop good and godly ones. Have godly friends, yeah? Please do. Have friends who are wise. Not the ones who just want to go to party every night and go to clubs every Friday evening. Some of these things are just stressful. Honestly, I don't even know how best to put it. Develop godly and genuine interpersonal relationship. It will save you. I gave that example to consolidate the point. It will save you. All right. Now the next part. Okay. Give, but give in proportion. Give, but give in proportion. Give with wisdom. Give in proportion and give with wisdom. The only alternative to that is for you to give by faith, but it is still not faith without wisdom. Give in proportion. I know exactly what I'm trying to say, so let me try to explain it. If you give without budgeting your giving, they say givers never lack. You will give until you lack. If you give without budgeting your giving, you will give until you run into crisis because you will be susceptible to emotional blackmail. Please help me, I am dying. The issue is everything I have to give, I have given it. If I give to you from what is left, you will die, I will die because it will not be enough for the two of us. Should you give? Yes, you are a Christian. Yes, it's a necessity. If I don't want to boast, but if some of you see my giving schedule and the way I give, you might want to report me to God. One example that happened recently that I can share is a friend of mine was hosting a conference, and the conference was just this month, yeah, and he needed money. So one of those days, I just asked for his account number, and the Lord said to me, "Clear your account." I wiped out everything in my account and sent it to him. I was in church that morning. Before I left the church, Somebody sends me double of everything I sent to my friend. No, it was not double, it was times 2.5. That one was by faith. I will not encourage you to wipe out your account except you have an instruction from the Lord. I will not encourage you to do that. Give with wisdom and budget your giving. You did not die for the sins of the world. You cannot take away the sins of the world. If you intend to become El Shaddai, you shall die. Don't carry beyond the weight you can carry. If people need more than you can give, recommend them to people who can help them. Because you cannot help everybody, fortunately for you. I don't want to say unfortunately, but fortunately for you, you cannot help everybody. I wish you could. I wish I could send a 1 million naira to everybody that is on this live stream at this point in time. I'll just send every one of you a 1 million naira. I will say go and do a business with it. I can't do that though. Because I don't have the capacity to do that. In the future, I will have. By then also you would have had the same, you would have become much bigger than you are now. But as of now, I can't do that. If I attempt to do that, I will cry. Give in proportion to what you can afford and budget your giving. Give with wisdom and give to people that are necessary. You will give to some people and they will waste it. Mhm. When you see certain characters that points to that, please, before you give to them, educate them. If you educate them and you see they are not receiving the education, you are not under obligation to give to them. I'll say it again. If you educate them before giving to them and you see that the education amounted to nothing, you are not under obligation to give to them because you are expected to be a wise master builder and an accurate manager of resources. God does not waste resources. It means the reason why God has not even blessed them in the first place is because they are wasters and not managers. God creates managers, not wasters. So if you find people who will blackmail you emotionally and tell you, oh, but you said you are a Christian and you are not helping me, my dear friend and sister, please join them to cry. After they cry, tell them to leave because you cannot do beyond your capacity. That just tell you to join them to cry. Yeah, mourn with them that mourn. Sorry. Give within your capacity and do that with wisdom. Please do that with wisdom. All right, the next thing I would like to say along this basic instruction for financial management is prioritize your needs over your wants. Now, what are your needs? Your needs are basic necessities that you cannot do without. Some of your repetitive expenses, your subscriptions, prioritize your needs over your wants. Yeah, please do. But the things you want, you saw a black bag on display and you love the bag and you know, although you have the money to buy it, if you buy it, you will cry. Please don't buy it. It's not necessary. Prioritize necessities over frivolities. Prioritize your needs over your wants. When you can afford your wants comfortably, go for it. Now, I will not say you should deprive your soul of Mary because you want to manage your finances. No, no, I don't encourage that. When I mean deprive your soul of Mary, I mean there are things you buy, there are places you visit that you spend money, and in return, your soul just feels a kind of happiness and a kind of Mary. Please go there, but please do things on budget. For example, almost every month, I'm a very indoor person. I spend a lot of time indoor. I am more indoor than outdoor. Yeah. If I stay out for too long, I start feeling like I almost start feeling sick. It's because of the way I've developed myself anyway. So at least once a month, I take myself out, go to an eatery, just me, just me, nobody else. If I have to go with anybody else, I have to plan it. Honestly, get myself something nice to eat and to drink, and get myself a very wonderful place to relax outside of my room. and my soul feels relaxed. I do that at least once a month. If I miss a month, I will not miss the second month, and it is very rare for me to miss a month. Excuse me, very rare. Don't deprive your soul of Mary, but prioritize your needs over your wants until you can afford the two. Because a point in time will come that you'll be able to afford the two. Both the things you need and the things you want, you'll be able to afford the two without stress. Until you get to that level, prioritize your needs. When you get to that level, buy the two. Exactly. But please don't deprive your soul of Mary because you want to manage. No, 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 no. Take good care of yourself. Do the things that make you happy sometimes. If what will make you happy is going to kill you, please don't do it too. Or please do or please do things that make your soul merry and things that make you happy. Yeah. Take yourself out. Go to a cinema on a solo date. Be happy with yourself. If you want to go out with someone, it is also wonderful. But at least I recommend going out with just by yourself, solo. Just enjoy the pleasure of it. It's a kind of pleasure on its own. Don't deprive your soul of money because you want to manage or prioritize your needs over your wants until you can afford the two. When you can afford the two, buy the two. Are we still together? I want to believe my answer is yes. So let's move to the next section. I titled it knowledge. And we are an hour, 30 minutes in. I should be done in 1 hour from now. So let's continue peacefully. Maximum, I'll be done by 10 p.m. All right. Because for reasons best known to God as well, this would be the last time I will be teaching in the year 2024. So yeah, I want to give you my very best. You need knowledge for finances. You need knowledge. you you need there are many things you think you know, but you don't know. There are many things you think you know, you don't know. And there are some things you think you have full knowledge, but the knowledge you have is not even up to half. For example, you have a business idea. You want me to invest in it. Can you pitch your business to me? Or you think it's just by preparing spreadsheets? It is when you sit down and you want to prepare spreadsheets that you realize, you don't know how to do this thing. There are many things you think you know that you don't know. All right? Go for knowledge at all times. You can't work with me as a person and you will be lazy in knowledge acquisition. God forbid. You will read, you will watch videos. See, our generation has access to many information, but guess what? We are rich in information without using it. But the first place before using information is to be rich with it. So be rich in it. While working with me, you will use it. I will ensure that. I give you the guarantee on that. All right? I give you the guarantee on that. But you will need knowledge. Let me continue gently. The first thing is that you must gain knowledge and you must sell knowledge to make money. There are two things people used to sell to make money before. It was one, goods, and number two, services. The third thing we now sell in this generation is that we now sell knowledge. Yes, knowledge is now a commodity that can be sold. If I want to do a business master class, a proper business master class, I will charge. Depending on the location and depending on the context of what I want to teach, I can charge as much as ₦1,000,000 for my master class. Yes, without blinking, because I know the value I want to offer. But yeah, you're enjoying this one free. Please enjoy it. I can charge as much as that. I honestly don't care because there are people who can afford it. Gain knowledge. Read until people say you have read too much. Learn until people around you feel like you already learned too much. Go and rest. Please don't rest, oh. Don't join them. Rest, oh. I did not say you shouldn't rest. I said don't give up on what you are doing. Oh. Gain knowledge. How do you gain knowledge? You pay for some. You meditate to get some. You study diligently to get some. And there are times you have to extrapolate to be able to get it. This is it. I let me explain what I mean by extrapolate with one example. As a person, I love ancient movies over contemporary movies and action movies. So while watching some of these old ancient Chinese empire movies, I would also just browse a little and check some of the stories and the histories as it aligns with the movie I am watching, and you'll be surprised. Now, some of those people in those ages they knew certain things that are not common knowledge now, and some of the strategies I find while researching and extrapolating from the movies, when I apply them in this physical world, I end up hearing things like you are not nice. How did you get to know this thing? You are cold-hearted. You are not behaving like a righteous person. How should you be able to defend yourself like this? I feel like people are expecting for me to become a victim because they don't think I should know enough. But yes, I can learn from a movie. I can learn from books. I can learn from watching videos, and I can learn from studying history. Every avenue you have, you can learn from it. Two people are talking beside you and you don't want to interfere in their discussion, listen to it. At least you will learn how not to live your life if they have lived their nonsense life, if you have lived a nonsense life, and if you have lived a wonderful life, you can also learn one or two things from them. Read biographies. Yeah, I just said that as an extra. Gain knowledge, and one of the things you can sell is knowledge. Sell knowledge. You know how to do something, and somebody needs that knowledge. Feel free to sell it to them. Maybe the reason you are maybe one of the reasons you're struggling financially and you know so much is because you think you should teach everybody everything for free. Forgive me, it doesn't work that way. Some of the people you how do I say this thing carefully? I've heard of people who pay as much as $30,000, who are paid as much as $30,000 by companies to come talk to their staffs. They are not teaching them any important skill, oh. They are just sharing knowledge. Imagine being paid $30,000 to come and talk. Talk. But guess what you are doing for free? You are talking for free. Unfortunately for you as well, some of you are even talking nonsense. Can you imagine? Please. Everything that comes out of you should be valuable. If I want to talk on strategies, I don't like sharing it with too many people. I only share strategies with people who pay for it. I don't share strategy with people who did not pay. No, on no account will I share it because I've shared with people who did not pay for it and they did not value it. When it comes to strategies, business strategy, lifestyle strategy, warfare strategy, I only share with people who pay for it. Yeah, because they will know the value. There are many knowledge I share for free because Jesus has paid for them. Like this one we are sharing now, Jesus has paid for it. So he's paid for it for you to enjoy it for free. But there are certain things I won't share with you until you pay for it because it commands value. And if you ever execute them in certain spheres and places, people will look at you as a different breed. I have sacrificed my sleep to get these things, so I won't offer them for free for people who will not learn to use it well. Gain knowledge and sell knowledge. Be obsessed with getting knowledge. Second thing is gain a skill and sell your skill. This one is even interesting because I know people who have learned fashion designing, and for reasons best known to Satan, they're still poor. Having learned fashion designing, I'm just using that for an example, you can sell your skill by designing clothes for people, number one, by having a design, a concept of design, and selling that concept without producing it as a cloth. Number two. Number three, you can have a fashion school and sell knowledge. So from learning just fashion design, you will have three opportunities to sell. Number one, people bring clothes, you sew for them, you design them, you style them, and you charge conveniently. There you can't be emotional with charging. Vusita Mbekwayo would say something. He said, the true price of what you sell is expensive plus one. It means when people say, your price is too expensive, oh, that is the original price. That is the true price. That price that they consider to be expensive, add to it. That's the original price. The true price is expensive plus one because the person who said expensive is just someone who cannot afford it. Do you know there are places where they still show clothes for as low as in Nigeria as low as 3,000 naira? Yes, and there are fashion designers who will sew your clothes for you and you are not paying less than 200,000 naira. The same skill, the same craft, the same business. So have a skill and make your skill marketable. Sell your skill. My dear friends, sell your skill. You meet someone who is in the same business line with you and they encounter a dangerous setup that is delaying them and you know how to quickly solve it for them, sell that small knowledge and waka pass. From one skill, you can create many avenues of making money. I use fashion design for an example. You can design clothes for people. You can sell concept of design. It means you imagined the dress, you drew it on paper, and you decided to sell that design for somebody else to produce it because you have not produced it. The third thing is you can have a fashion school. The fourth thing is you can now have a factory where people are producing and they are producing in large quantity. And you start a fashion line with that. You must be able to expand your mind to be able to sell your skill and market it properly. For example, I realized I can write well. I will not be shy with this and I will not form false humility. Amongst my contemporaries and people of my age in this nation and beyond, I can easily boast as one of the best writers without thinking I am proud. Yeah, especially in scientific writing. Because I've developed myself in that skill very well to a point where my mentor is not worried anymore when I write for him. Sometimes he doesn't even bother to go through it. He believes it is good enough. I don't sell my skill for cheap. There are people who want to give me a writing contract and I tell them I won't take it. The issue now is, now, wow, I won't take it because I know they are very concerned about the price and not the quality of what they want to get from me. When I meet people who are more interested in the quality, we don't talk price, we talk value. So that when I mention price, they don't negotiate. Yeah, because they know exactly what. Let me give an example. There was a man who wanted to He has spent close to, if not more than, a 1 million naira on the research he had been doing. And he hit a stumbling block with his writing and his results presentation. So I asked him to bring everything. Result analysis is not an issue for me. It's a minor thing. I analyzed the result of all of my PhD research in one night, all of it, one night. Except I'm lazy. But for him, it was a big work. And this man is very well accomplished in the research world, just not the best writer. Can you imagine? It happens. So I took it from him and I named my price. And I told him I would deliver in 6 weeks. He paid 75% upfront because he knew the quality of what I was going to produce. I marketed my quality, my dear. I marketed my quality. I show how good I am because the results are online and everywhere. If you type my name on Google, Bidemi Emmanuel Ekundayo, you will not make mistake. Nobody else will come out after you search for my name. It will be my name, my publications, the book I have written, everything will carry my name. Bidemi Emmanuel Ekundayo on Google will only show. It will even show my picture. No mistakes about that. So I marketed myself to him and I named my price. And because of the way I presented the value, I will share some of the things I did very soon. I attacked his need with my value. I wasn't talking price with this man. No. So the first thing was I took the document from him and I praised the document so that he would understand that I know the value of what is on ground. It was a quality work, very deep quality. I mentioned the qualities. I even mentioned what he could have done that he told me it was because of financial constraint that I couldn't do them. So we could resonate at the same level. I knew his desire and I knew how to match up with it. So I told him, since you want to write it in a very publishable format and you want to publish it internationally, don't worry, it's very easy for me. In fact, I just published one last month. He said, yeah, wow. I said, I wrote it in January, I published it in February. And people started citing it. Just 7 days after publishing it, he started having citations. Citations from Dubai, from many other universities all over the world. I marketed myself to him. When I named my price, he didn't say no. Then I told him I would deliver in 6 weeks. I delivered in 2 weeks. He was surprised. When he went to check the quality of what I wrote, there was no need for a single correction. Now, when we sent one of the 3 documents out for publication, the international reviewers looked at it and sent it back to make certain corrections. All that they pointed out as corrections were minimal. We submitted it, I think, November ending. The article is out already. It has been published 2 months after. It was published in December. It was published in a high-ranking journal. Gain a skill, market it, market it. It is, say Swali Gaska. It is your responsibility to know how to market what you have. Let me not go too far. We will still consider all of those things. I said gain knowledge, sell knowledge, gain a skill, sell a skill. The third thing is make a product and sell a product. Gain knowledge, sell knowledge, gain a skill and sell a skill. The third thing is make a product and sell your product. Sell your product. From the beginning of this year, I left my hair to start growing. And I've had to buy hair care products from people. If they did not produce those hair care products, I would not buy from them. Make a product, sell a product. Make a product, sell a product. The first thing is between your skill, your product and be able to sell everything at different levels. Like I mentioned earlier with fashion design, the skill can be sold, the concept of design can be sold, a fashion school can be sold, a production factory can be sold, different kinds of fabric can see. You just have to be able to find something genuine and coin out an idea from it. You have to. It's your responsibility. For example, there are people who have songs on Spotify that are not full songs. They are mashup of other people's songs without infringing copyrights. And guess what? There are songs that people dance to on TikTok because people love it on TikTok. They'll go and look for it on Spotify, put it on repeat, and continue streaming. Fortunately, at the end of the month or at the end of a period of time, that person has not sung any song. He has only created a mashup of other people's songs and is going to be paid heavily because he has millions of streams. Make a product, sell a product, hybridize your idea, bring something new, offer it to us. We want to buy. This is the issue. This is the issue. People buy with their emotions and then justify it with their logic. People really buy with logic. People buy with their emotions. So if you are able to please people's emotions, you will sell. You will sell. At the point in time, I had an examination that made me cut half of my hair. After the exam, I felt like crying because this hair was already long. I love long hair anyway. So I was feeling bad because I cut the hair. So I needed somebody who had an hair care product that was going to work for me and work well. So I checked one of my friends, and what she advertised to us, her hair before she started using her own product and her own hair after she was using her product for a while. Guess what? I bought it. She attacked my emotions with her sales strategy. My emotion was I was feeling bad because I cut my hair. Now I needed to grow it back. I bought it. I didn't even care about the price. I just asked for the price and I sent the money. People buy with their emotions and then rationalize their choices. So when you are trying to market yourself before people to buy from you, please their emotions. Don't try to be too logical, except you meet somebody who is very logical. Let me give an example. There's somebody out there who wants to buy a excuse me, please. All right, I'm back. There's somebody out there who wants to buy a television. He wants it to be 64 inches. He wants you to be able to connect to the internet and be able to download from Netflix and do all of those things. So he must have asked around and they told him a Samsung product can do it. Now he goes to and asks for the Samsung product, and the electronic dealer does not have the exact Samsung product. It is now his responsibility to ask, oh, the Samsung products that can use touchscreen, that can connect to the internet and do all of these things. And the man will respond, yes, that's exactly what I need. Oh, if that is what you need, the one you are looking for, it cannot do, maybe you cannot connect to Facebook, you cannot be able to watch your CCTV and still watch a television program at the same time. And you'll be like, oh, yes, I have CCTV, but I have to use another television for it now. I have a television that is not Samsung that can do all of the things your Samsung television can do and can do extra. Now, the man that came to buy the television did not know so much. He probably browsed little and saw little. The one who wants to sell knows much more. And because he knows much more, he is able to convince the man to buy something that is not Samsung. Many times people don't know what they want. They know how they want to feel by buying what they want. Let me say it again. People don't really know what they want. They just know how they want to feel. If you're able to convince them that you have something that can make them feel the way they want to feel, they will buy it. Some people want to feel rich. Hence, they will not buy anything that is not a designer product. Their shoe must be Christian Louboutin. Their bags must be Chanel. Everything about them must be designer. They want to feel rich. You must play to their emotions to get them to buy from you. Are you gaining value? If you are, leave me a message on the Telegram group. I want to see a message or two before I continue. If you are gaining value, send me a message. You must be able, all right, you must be able to push your skill to match the emotional needs of people. Yeah, it's your responsibility. Whatever you can do, people don't know you can do it until you convince them you can do it. See, this is another gist. Your production is not good enough until your communication level is also matching your production level. Note that statement. I will come back to it later. So some people don't know what they want, but they know how they want to feel. If you can give them something that can make them feel the what they want to feel, they will buy it. See, nobody cares about Medicaid. No lady, especially cares about Medicaid. None. But when they tested the product, it was closest to their feeling than not. Some people buy other alternative designers because when they also tested those ones, the person who was to sell it to them was able to make them realize this product can give you the same value. It can even give you the same value for lesser price or for more or for greater price. Many people don't care about price. So yes, for the person asking if it's available, to be available. Many people don't care about price. Oh, when you meet people who care about price, more often than not, they are poor people. And you must be able to deal with them at the level that they want. But the best of your business will be with people who do not care about price. They just want a value. If you can offer that value, they will buy regardless of the price. For example, if I want to renew my gadgets, I just renewed them recently. The last set I bought in 2021. Was it 2021? Yes. And they were able to last me for about 3 years now. So I went to the market to get another set. I don't care about the price. I know what I want. I go there. If you're able to offer me what I want my music instrument to be very loud. I want my browsing instrument to be very effective. If you're able to offer me that, I don't care about the price. I'll buy it. Many people don't care about price. They want to be able to feel how they want to feel from the products that you are offering. If you are able to meet that need, they will buy from you. So when you are talking with somebody, if you have a product to sell, your first thing is not price. Your first thing is value. Now let me offer some strategies at this point. Your first selling point is not price, it is value. What they want to feel, match it. The second thing now is that if you are offering a commodity value where there are many people who sell the same thing and you have to compete on price, don't try it. Some people can out compete you on price. Let me give an example of a car dealer. If somebody calls him and asks, how much is Toyota Camry 2019? And Toyota Camry 2019 is between 18 and 21 million. If I call this dealer and he says 18 million, I can call the next dealer and he says 19.5 million. He can call 5 people before he eventually chooses the one he wants to buy from. So he can actually, people can keep pricing your car and they won't buy from you. Very ugly scenario, yeah? And you can't compete because you know there won't be much profit if you have to compete with other people. So this is something you can do. I learned this from one of my business from one of my business insights online. He said when people call and they ask for the price of Toyota Camry 2019, they say, let's say you have a call. Hello, am I on to favor car dealer? He said yes. How much is sure, sir? How much is Toyota Camry 2019? The person is asking about price because Toyota Camry 2019 is the same. Don't match them on the price level still, even though they're asking for price. You can answer them in the nature of it depends on what you want and how you want it. Toyota Camry 2019 is already precise. Then the person would ask, what do you want? Okay. If you want an outright sale, that is, you pay for it once and buy it once, the price is 19 million naira. The second option is you can pay 5 million naira and pay the rest over a period of 6 months. That's option two. Option three is you can pay half. That's half of 19 million is about 9.5 million. And over the period of 6 months, you can spread the rest. You have just created an avenue for that person to come to you and buy from you, regardless of the price you are offering it. Because the person may just have as much as 10 million at that point in time, but they want to get that car. Now, it is business strategy that will help you mitigate the risk and every other documentations involved, such that your money will be complete over the required period of time without stress, but you just gain the customer without talking price, without putting price first. Do you get it now? You can also offer some package like, okay, if you buy an outright sale from us, we are willing to get you 4 tires as an extra incentive. Ah, wonderful. And if you pay the half price and you are spreading over 6 months, your repairs for that 6 months will be on us. Who will not want to buy? You have just matched them on value, even though they were still asking for price. Do you see the thing now? Be very creative. All of these things, you can't do it if you don't prioritize knowledge. That's the number one issue. If you don't have a strong hold on knowledge, nah, you are far. You must keep learning and keep evolving. You must keep getting better and keep adapting. You must keep learning better and keep solving problems. That way, you will stay at top in financial issues. Let me try to end in 30 minutes. I don't want you to reach the 3 hour mark. I don't want to. Because we are 2 hours in. Now, in trying to make people buy what you sell, whether you are selling knowledge or you are selling a skill or you are selling a product or you are selling a hybrid of knowledge, skill, and product, remove no from your language. Don't tell people no easily. Please. I'm a Christian. I can share this example with you. I wanted to go out to go make my hair. There was a particular style the Lord laid in my house to do during in prayers. On getting there, the stylist said she cannot do it. Ah, and I knew the Lord wanted me to do it. So I went back home. And while I was praying in the evening, I told the Lord I couldn't do it. Though. Some few days later, I had a dream. And in that dream, I was going straight to that same salon to go and make my hair sometimes later. And an angel stood before me in the dream and said, I cannot enter that shop because the person rejected me when I came to make hair the last time. That's a spiritual experience, not even a rational experience. For the rational one, I mean, for no, not rational. Spiritual experience is rational. For human experiences, if you are fond of saying no, the customer will not believe that it is their problem. They will say you are the one that is proud and they will feel okay for leaving you. Yes, they will feel very happy to leave you behind because they will feel like you are the one who is proud and the problem is not with them. So, this is it. Remove no from your vocabulary. Even when people have frustrated you, still give them alternatives. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a service you render for $1,000 per person, and somebody comes and says, "Can you do this same thing for $600?" It is not about no. If you say no, you have lost the customer. Then you go close and ask, "Oh, let's assume it is makeup. This makeup, where do you want? Where do you intend to go with it?" You say, "I have a party, a wedding." Yes, a wedding. Well, from one of my friends, this and this, that and that. You have the opportunity to ask them two questions. Question number one: have you ever attended the wedding when you saw a makeup and you felt pity for the person? And they will tell you, "Oh, yes, I attended this wedding. The makeup on one of the ladies' face. In fact, the chief bridesmaid, the makeup on her face, I felt like crying." And then you will ask them, "What will it cost you to not have that kind of experience?" "I actually charge 1,000 for my makeup. Can you match my price?" That person will no longer talk about 600. That person will be confident enough to say, "Can you do it for 900?" And then you say, "Okay, for things like this, seeing that to just ensure that you are able to drag them up to your own level. You don't fall down to their level, you drag them up to their level." So you ask them, "This wedding you are going to, do you have an next that will be attending the wedding?" Ah, there's this. What will it cost you to appear in a way that you will become the show of the wedding, such that you can do pepper them for your eggs? I can offer you that for 1,000. You can't combine two, three strategies like that and the person will not pay. Don't be quick to saying no. Mm, please. If the person is not willing to match your $1,000 price, they will feel guilty for leaving you. But if you told them no outrightly, they will just leave you because they are not feeling any kind of guilt about it. Because they will say in their mind, you are the one who is not serious about business. Do you get the trick now? Make people come to your level. How do you make people come? They know how they want to feel. Give them how they want to feel. Let them match your price. All right? Let them match your price. I gave a strategy sometime to one of the people I was addressing. I said, for every service you want to render, and you know the people will price you badly, offer them excess price, offer them a price at excess profit, so that when they want to negotiate, they will negotiate you into your normal profit margin. This is what I said. Offer them a price at excess profit, so that when they want to negotiate, they will negotiate you to your normal profit margin. So let's imagine you offer the service for 45,000 naira or dollar, whichever one. And you know these are people who would want to negotiate it badly if you call it 45. It's simple. Call it 65. By the time they negotiate you down to 50, they will feel like, this negotiation is too bad. We have taken out 15 from it. And you tell them 50, no problem. But what was your normal range of profit? At 45, you would make maximum profit. Now, from 65, they have drawn you down to 50, and you are willing to agree, not knowing that at 50, you are still on excess profit. Deal with some people like that. It is wisdom to deal with some people like that. It is wisdom to deal with some people like that. Not everybody, but with some. Once you study the nature of their talk and the nature of the things they are trying to bring your way, smash them on that level. But don't say no. So take them high, such that by the time they bring it low, they are bringing it into the normal price range, and then you still tell them yes. And for others, you attack their need and bring them up. Do you understand? I'm sure you do. Now, there's one simple communication trick I would like you to learn. I call it yes and yes but. When people tell you something and you say yes, but you have just negated everything they have said, they won't listen further. You have killed their vibe, you have killed their morale. Everybody loves to be appreciated. So I can only pay 600 for this thing, oh, but you just shut down that negotiation. Now, the best response is yes. And what you just did was you affirmed their feeling to be rational, and every other thing you want to add to convince them, add it after that and, not a but. Yes, but you shut it down, you shut them down. Yes, and you appreciated them and you are taking it further. People love to be appreciated. See, this whole thing is emotional. Selling is emotional. Oh, I think it's a very good idea. And you impute yours. I think it's a very good idea, but you just shut them down. If you get the trick, leave me a comment. Yeah. Yes, and yes, but. Choose a yes, and you continue until they match your price instead of a yes, but you are killing them. Let people only leave you and feel guilty for leaving you after during the sales process. Let them feel guilty for stepping away. Don't let them feel confident because they feel you are proud. No. Do everything within your means. Some of them cannot be convinced, and it's fine. But you shouldn't lose customers easily. So sell your knowledge, sell your skill, and sell your product. The next thing I would like to talk about is communication. If you don't believe in what you do, I don't owe you any belief. So you must be able to communicate what you do until the average person who doesn't understand anything understands it and buys from you. Communication is necessary. If you can produce the best design in the world, but you cannot communicate how that you are able to do it, you are still not able to do it. Because if your communication is 9 over 10, I mean, if your product and your production is 9 over 10, but your communication is 2 over 10, you can only offer value at level 2 over 10. Your ability to communicate is a very important skill in business and in finances. Such that if your communication skill is only 2 over 10, there's crisis. You are a 2 over 10 person. Even though your ability to produce is 10 over 10, but your ability to communicate is 2 over 10, you have reduced yourself down to 2 over 10. You must be able to communicate what you can do. All right? You must be able to communicate what you can do. It is your responsibility, not mine, not the buyers. Communication is a necessity. I'm trying to speed up so we can be done on time. Now, the final thing is production. And I just highlighted some points I would like to share. I intend to close this meeting in about 14, 15 minutes thereabout. Whatever you are doing, let us know you can do it. Thank God for social media. Put yourself out there for people to see. Let us know you can do this thing. The more we know you can do it, the more people can patronize you. You can produce the best clothes in the world, but there's no picture of any clothes you have produced online. Crisis. You can do the best makeup in Nigeria, but there's no evidence to show for it. Crisis. Like I said earlier, if you go online to Google, just type in Bidemi Emmanuel Ekundayo. Everything about it is going to be me. Yes. It will bring you some of my recent research. It will bring you some of my old research. It will bring you to some of my books. I must be present online. I call it my digital fingerprint. So if you hear my name and you feel like 3 days later you remember my name and you go and search for me on Google, it's not hard to find me. My Instagram will pop up, my Facebook will pop up. You can easily send me a message and communicate with me. Be easily located, be easily found. Put yourself out there, put yourself online. Bidemi Emmanuel Ekundayo will also take you to my YouTube. Let's be able to see you. Do you get it? The things you do, even you yourself, let us see you. Talk about what you do, market what you do, show us what you do videos. We need to see. And there's something called personal branding. We will not talk about that today. The last thing I will talk about is what I call action orientation. Give me a minute, I'll be back. All right, I said the final thing I want to talk about is action orientation. This is what I mean. Take actions. Instead of planning and planning and planning until you die planning, take action. Do you get it? It's as simple as that. Take action. Be action oriented. Be more concerned with doing. Be very concerned with doing instead of just thinking, 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 and talking, talking, talking without doing. Thinking is a necessity. Talking and meditating is a necessity, but you must also do, take action. Even when it is imperfect, take action. Even when you have not yet figured out everything, take action. Start advertising it. Let us know you can do it. Take action. So some of you have ideas that is over 6 months old and nobody knows you have that idea. You have not even told anybody about it. It will remain an idea until you take the first step. When you take the first step, the second step will come. You will adjust and take it again. Take actions. If you lay out 5 things and 5 plans you want to execute, don't stop until you execute all 5. You execute the first one, it doesn't work out well, no problem. You will readjust and re-execute it again. Be action oriented. I have found out that every man who has ever made it successfully in this life take actions. They don't figure out everything from the beginning, but they take action and then they keep figuring it out and they keep making adjustments. Take actions, yeah? Take action. Take action. If you don't produce for people to see, nobody's buying from you. And if you don't have anything to exchange for money, then you are not qualified to have it. One of the very things that I personally exchange for money is knowledge. I know many things. You people don't know. Some of you have seen me as the guy who prophesies and teaches the scripture. If I show you the other aspect of me, you may call me a devil. Because I have offered strategies to people at high level, and when they executed it, let's leave that. Let's leave that at that level. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. I have business strategies tested and proven to fight business wars. I- Many of these things are right here in my quiver. Yeah, I sell knowledge a lot. I sell knowledge. And people know that I sell knowledge. Hence, they keep coming to buy knowledge. Jesus has paid me to teach you this for free. Let us know what you sell. Take action. That business idea, launch it right, discuss it with your mentor, discuss it, analyze it, but then take action. After discussion is not time to rest, it's time to take action. Be action oriented. You, you may not get the most perfect result, but take action. Let people know you can do it. If Joseph did not prove himself as a potent dream interpreter, he would have died in prison without ever ruling in Egypt. Let people know this is what you do. Tell them by mouth, tell them by advertisement, tell them by various design and through every other means, through social media. Let people know you can do this thing. When they know, they will come when they have a need. I have my personal graphics design now, and I don't give my deals to any other person. I don't like giving my deals to any other person because I know he is good at his work, and I don't help him imagine creativity. He is very creative by himself. I just give him details and he creates. After this class, I will share 3 flyers on the mentorship platform. I've shared it in the main King's Court platform. I will share it on the mentorship platform. He did those works, yeah. I just give him details. He brings the creativity into it. And as long as he continues to do graphics design, he will remain my graphics designer. Simple as that. He has a repeating customer because he's very good at what he does. Let us know you can do it and then be good at what you do. You want to make money? Nobody makes money without offering something to sell. Sell knowledge, sell skill, sell a good and a service, and sell a hybrid of these things. Just ensure you are exchanging, you have something to exchange for money. It is when people don't have anything to exchange for money that they exchange their body for money. Yes, there's nothing upstairs to exchange, there's nothing in their hand to exchange. Their body is all that is left. And it's a derogatory thing to offer something of higher value in exchange for something of lower value. It's like offering gold just to have one plate of rice. It will end in tears. Yeah, have something to exchange for money. Always have a skill, a special knowledge, a good, a service. Sometimes it may just be a small delivery service. It's fine. Whichever idea you start with, it's fine. Just ensure you start. All right? Take action. Take action. The way to make money is by producing. Be productive. The way to manage money is by curtailing and dealing with excesses. We have talked about that. The way to expand is another way, and is another discussion entirely. We can't do that here tonight. I can teach you how to expand money. Oh. It's all right. I've done practical. I just experiment. I will just take an idea, experiment it, and then drop it. Because I don't want to pursue it for long. So that when I meet people who are into that idea specifically, I can tell them I've done it before and I will repeat it for them again and it will work exactly the same way. I've done many practicals. Quite a few. Take actions. Be action oriented. After ensuring that you are not going to make unnecessary mistakes, take action. Swift. If you are swift to act, you will have certain advantages and favor. If you delay in action, you are not considered wise. You are not considered wise. Are you getting me? By January 2025, I'll be launching, I think every month I'll be launching a close design for my personal brand. I don't want to, there are certain regulations I don't want to meet because I don't expect to be where I am for too long. So I have to launch it with my own name. Nobody can question me for launching this with my name. But every month there will be a new clothes design out there that I have produced. It's ready. It's So some of you are hearing for the first time that I'm into clothes production. It's all right, and I'm not a tailor. No, I don't have any basic fashion designing skill. It's knowledge I have. I now have people who can produce this, who can use their skill to produce it. There are many things. All right, take action. Take action. It's all right. I can say we have come to the end of this class at this particular point in time. So let me take questions if there are questions. Yeah. Do we have questions? Um, if there are questions, oh, I beg. Please, if there are questions, send it to the WhatsApp platform or the Telegram platform. Yeah, I'll be able to take it up from there. Any questions? With everything we have said so far, I expect to be one or two questions. How will I get the questions from people on YouTube and Instagram? Is my Instagram still opened? Yes. Uh, okay, so for the people on Instagram, please leave your message on WhatsApp. For the people on YouTube, leave your question on YouTube on what's it called? On WhatsApp or Telegram. So let me wait a minute to see if I have questions to deal with. Anyone? All right, good stuff. So if there are any later, you can always reach out and ask your questions. They should be attended to swiftly. Let's say a word of prayer as we close. The Lord has been good to us, the Lord has been merciful to us, and the Lord has brought us knowledge and help in this way this night. We give you thanks for that, Father. However, we ask that this word will produce result in us and you will give us the grace to execute and to take decisions. You will give us the grace to execute and to take decisions. And in this, we will be potent managers of resources and accurate representatives of your kingdom in the name of Jesus. In Jesus' most wonderful name, we have prayed. Amen. Let me bless you specifically. Thank you, Father. I bless you with the blessings of the Lord and I declare over you that you are chosen for great things. Thank you, Father. That's the word. You're chosen for great things. The Lord has designed you for such blessing. You are welcome to the class of rich and blessed Christians who will be developed and balanced on all sides. The Lord has chosen you for this purpose, and I declare His blessings upon you. I establish you in that covenant by the word of the Lord. It is done over you. You are blessed. And that blessing will translate into everything you lay your hands upon. The Lord be good to you. The Lord favors you. In Jesus' name. All right, wonderful people. This is the end of the 2025 financial starter pack. Some of you have stayed from the very beginning till now. It's a blessing. Oh yeah? I think if I check the schedule right, the next teaching should be for January 2nd. It should be for January 2nd. So see you by then. However, our regular prayers continue after tonight. The Lord bless you. Have a good night rest. Thank you, Father.